love the high G now. But low G works really well for certain things like rockabilly. There are certain things that you can do with that low G, like that type of a thing, you know, that you can do with a low G that just isn't quite the same with that high G.
Well, also melody picking, right? So if you want to pick out the melody.
Well, there you can do that. Now, for example, when I'm doing this song, yeah, a lot of that melody's coming from that high G. Now, but there are advantages of the low G too, because basically you've got 12 additional frets that you have use of. And so it does come in handy for certain styles of playing. Now, Tom, you probably, I'm assuming, always use high G on your, and always have on your sopranos, I'm assuming.
I actually had a soprano set up with low G, and I really liked it. It's a little bit of work to do on a soprano to get the intonation right and everything. And then I ended up selling it. So, and I've thought about setting one up low G again, because there's some things that it's nice for, yeah.
Yeah, it just depends. And I tell you, with ukulele, that's one of the great things that I think about ukulele is that, oh, looky there, we got Miss Dowdy. She's joined us. Hi, Pat. Is that they're inexpensive enough that, like, I spent $50 for, I got it on sale, and it has a solid top for a tenor that I've got strung up with low G. It actually didn't sound as well, sound as good with the high G. In the set of strings that I have for it, they're thicker. I bought a set with low, and they're thicker, so you get a little bit of a deeper sound. And I found that set of strings, I took them off of this, put them on that ukulele, and with a low G, it sounds pretty good. Point that I'm making is, I think it's very advantageous, and with the ukuleles, they're expensive enough, instead of having one really expensive one and getting locked into like a high G all the time, go ahead and get you two medium expensive ones, or medium priced ones. Get one with a high G, one with a low G, depending upon whether you like, you know, tenor or concert, soprano or whatever. Point being, where you have the flexibility. One of the neat things about the ukulele, especially those of us that suffer from UAS, and you're probably the only one here, Jim, that doesn't, and that's only because you haven't been in it as long as the rest of us have. Am I right, Pat?
Yep.
Yep. See, she's got a bad case of the, there you are. Okay. She's got a bad case of the UAS. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. We don't want hubby to be over to be listening in. So we've got 4 of us now. Okay. That's cool. We'll hang out in here and just kind of shoot the bull for a few more minutes, see if anybody else comes along, and just have general ukulele talk for a second. Now, Tom, Pat, and I were talking yesterday on the phone about just kind of the benefits of different ukuleles and discussing the soprano. And I was trying to tell her a little bit, and I love the soprano for that early 20s strumming style. The Pat, you call it the George Formby style, but that just and the Roy Smeck, that you know, that really right hand like ukulele up like that guy uses. Tom, give us your thoughts on the soprano, Tommy Soprano. Give us your, which I love that username, by the way. And I was thinking, Tom, about setting a group up on the website when we get going, a soprano group, and getting you to lead that group, and you know, to work with people and explain the benefits and such of a soprano. But for the rest of us, give us your thoughts on. You and I had talked about one time that one of the things about the ukulele, the soprano, it's harder to get it in tune. Do you agree with that? Would you say that's a fair statement?
Sure. Anytime you have a shorter scale, then little differences are magnified because there's less distance over that scale length. So if your string is set up very high, if your nut is set up very high, or the bridge is set up very high, and then when you press that string down, it causes more difference, more deflection. Yes.
It makes the string actually tighter than it's supposed to be, which raises that pitch. And basically what you're saying, and I agree, is that the margin of error is less. And
Exactly.
what that boils down to is with sopranos, it's probably just the opposite of what people tend to think. A lot of people tend to think, when they get started with ukulele, that they start out with the soprano and they think, well, I'll just get a little cheap, inexpensive ukulele to start with, and they get a soprano. Well, the problem is those are the hardest ones to get to play in tune.
Yes.
To really do well and have a soprano, it really helps to have a high quality soprano.
Mm-hmm. Well, or have one set up very well.
That's set up really well.
There's some, I don't know, lower end but moderately inexpensive. You can get something in the maybe $50 to $100 range that, like the ones that you've set up. That do play, pretty well. The thing that I like about them, two things really, of course, is just the size, physical size, because it's small, it's easily portable. But the other reason that I really like, I started out with soprano, and then I went to the concert size, and then back to soprano, then back to concert, and then back to soprano. And that's where I've pretty much settled now. I never really got into the tenors because then that was getting to be a larger instrument. But I like the short scale because I do a lot of stuff where I use my little finger to reach for notes, and sometimes other fingers too, but particularly little fingers to play lead notes and things. And that shorter scale is really advantageous for that style of playing.
Yeah. And here's, by the way, this is the soprano that I'm going to be giving away. It's nothing fancy. It's one that I got. It's not a lot of bling. It's laminated wood. I've got it set up. Now, one of the things that I've noticed, I think these are the original strings. And I think sometimes the strings that we really have to be careful, and many people don't change their strings often enough. And what I've discovered is, for example, this plays in pretty nice tune, but it's got one string here that is now, okay, if I get it in tune on this A string particularly, I get it in tune at open, and then depending upon the setup and all, and I usually I need to work with this one a little bit more. I go at about 3/30 seconds at the 12th fret. Where do you set up yours, Tom? Is that about?
I might be a little bit lower than that.
You set up yours really low.
I can't tell you the exact measurement, other than I just know it's kind of low. If the ones I've set up, I've got that I hadn't really done any work on that probably too high still.
Yeah.
That I need to stuff.
Well, the point that I was going to make, and it may be because of what we talked about, it could be a little high. So when I'm pushed down up here at the 12th fret, okay, that it's a little sharp, okay? And you can see on my tuner, or you could, I'm a little bit above that. Now, I have experienced that also. These nylon strings, I think what happens, all of a sudden I'm getting an echo. Are you guys hearing that on my voice?
Yeah.
I don't know what started that. Just all of a sudden.
The aliens.
Yeah, the aliens came. Let me monkey with my audio for just a second. Because that's kind of annoying, isn't it?
Delay. Suddenly, there's a delay.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, but what I was going to say, well, did it stop?
Yes, now it's back to normal.
Yeah. I think that sometimes these nylon strings, if you know, depending upon the quality, and I think these are Aquila, but the Aquila comes with different variations. And I think if they get stretched just a little bit in one place, it gets everything out of kilter. So anyway, this I'm going to be working this over really closely, but this ukulele with a gig bag is what I'm going to be giving away. Which let's get to the now. We got probably all of us that are going to be here now, and that's fine. That's super. This is a good group, and just talk a little bit. First of all, about the beta launch. I really appreciate you guys, and let's talk about any questions. Any like today's. Has anybody done the contest today?
Of course.
I just got home from work, so not yet.
It'll be up there. Yeah.
To look at either.
Yeah. These two, Tom, they're getting after it. They're a bit ahead of you. They're gonna have
Now,
more chips in the hat.
one thing on that contest though today, again, it's got my, the little cumulative scores. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened. And that's on even the other computer. Both computers have the same. So that's just another little glitchy thing.
It is. And
I just want all of my points.
I understand. And I'm hoping, and I'm a bit after looking at it and see, this company is in Australia. As soon as we get through tonight, I'll be online with them because I think they're about just right opposite of us, that I can get a hold of their support group at nighttime. And I'm hoping I've got it set up right. I may have got some things that are going to be and I ought to show you what I have to do it. There's all these little boxes you check,
Yeah.
and one little box can make a big difference. And so and I won't get into it, but bottom line is I may have been screwing up all along, but if we do, what we'll do is
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, well, that's what this beta launch is kind of all about, to make me so that I can make my mistakes in front of a small group of folks that hopefully know me and will forgive me. That's a lot of it. But now, after going through this for a week or so now, I'm hoping that, and I apologize that this first lesson is tied into just learning the functionality of the website, but that's a necessity. And once people learn that, then there's going to be some really neat things that we can do, and we will get to that. I hope you're beginning to kind of see that I can direct your activity using the contest. And we can choose a topic, and all of us do some research and kind of work on a particular topic, and then combine our efforts. And besides just learning and on our own, we'll have a lot. Oh, looky there. We'll have the ability to combine our efforts, and we talked a little bit about that. So I hope to. Excuse me. I hope to have this functionality course completed. There we go again. See, I deal with this kind of stuff all day long, and we'll see. Hopefully it'll quit here in a minute. But there it goes. I guess it quit. So we'll just try to ignore it. One of the courses that I want to start with, I want to actually start doing some ukulele courses. And I was originally intending this not to be an instructional site in the sense of learning how to play, but to be more about learning about all the neat, all the fun stuff that those of us that are really into the ukulele really enjoy learning. All about the history, the different kinds of ukuleles, why a soprano versus a tenor, and vice versa, all those kinds of things. However, I am going to start getting into some different courses. One of the courses, and some of those courses eventually will be on the site ukulelesuperstars.com, which will be similar to this site, only the intent is to the intent there is to focus on instruction. Let me try something here for just a second. Let me lay this back out of the way. I'm going to try to do a screen share here. Let's see here. I may do it over here on this. Now you should be seeing a screen now. Do you see a separate screen?
Yes, I still see you in a small window.
Okay.
Screen and a window.
That's good. That's kind of what I wanted. Let's see if I can find the page that I was looking for. Well, okay, well, let me do it this way. I'll just move this page over here, and we'll do this. And let me show you a little bit what I'm talking about. Now, what you're seeing, let's see, what is it? Oh, okay. Oh, come on, Monty. Don't laugh. You know, this is kind of like when you're a kid trying to do a math problem, when you're up standing at the board trying to do a math problem, you know. Now, this is a website called ArtistWorks. And what they have here is, well, let's see. They've got courses by all kinds of professional musicians. This is one of the, Mike Marshall, this is one of the top ukulele players in the world, and top ukulele instructors. And I was looking for which shows, okay, let's just go. Now they do have one ukulele course right here, which is Craig and Sarah, okay? And it's an excellent course, but let me see here. Let's go back to guitar. Okay, bottom line is they have all of these courses by professional professional musicians. These are mostly guitar. These are electric guitar, acoustic guitar. Point being, the only reason I'm showing you that is that on this Ukulele Superstore, my concept is to create a website similar to what you see here that would have courses, and actually some of these are classes by professional ukulele players, by Stuart Fuchs, by Jim DeVille, by Gerald Ross, and as well as some by Monty Stewart. Not that I'm in their class, but as far as performing and certainly on the performing scene, but focused on the ukulele. And of course there would be charges. So that's kind of where I'm headed. But now that relates to you guys, because now let's see if I can get out of this. Share, how do I get back to where I'm not sharing the screen? Let's see. Pause, share. Okay. Now, your screen sharing is paused. Are we still seeing the screen share, or are we?
It's still the Guitar Lessons ArtistWorks page.
Okay.
And you're just down in the corner.
Yep. Okay. I was had this all worked out earlier. Nope, I don't want that. Nope, nope. Stop share. Okay, there we go. Now let me get rid of that. There we go. All right. Are we back?
We're back.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, okay, back to, I've kind of gotten off task here, off track. The point that I wanted to mention is that I'm going to start getting into producing some actual courses about playing. One of the first ones is, and I talked to Jim about this a little bit the other night, and we've talked about, and y'all may have heard me mention this before. The first one is about noodling, how to use noodling, what I call noodling and fretboard foundations, to do a couple of things: work on your technique, work on learning the fretboard, and most of all, work on training your ear. Okay. For example, this would not be the beginning, but Tom, Pat, and Jim and I talked about this the other night. You guys know and understand a major scale, and you understand 1, 4, and 5. So I've discovered that really focusing in on a major scale on steps 1, on the 4th step, the 4th note of a major scale, the 5th note of a major scale, and the octave, the 1, 4, 5, 1, 1, 4, 5, 1, 1, 5, 4, 1, 5, 1, and just doing a little exercise that I call noodling. This is to illustrate the benefit of noodling, where you go 1, 5, 4, 1, 5, 4, 1, 1, 1. Let me get down here in a key more in my pitch. 1, 1, 5, 4, 1, 5, 4, 1, 5, 4. Maria, Maria, Maria. Well, I don't know if that's how it goes, but point being, really get those intervals locked into your brain to where you can sing it and play it and just improvise and just noodle, just make it up. 1, 4, start out 1, 4, 5, 1, 1, 5, 4, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1. Any combination of those 3 notes. 1, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 5, 4, 1, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 4, 5, 4, 1. And just be able to sing it and play it at the same time. And what that does is eventually it teaches it ear training, as well as working on the technique of the wrist stroke and learning the fretboard. Because if we know 1 and we know 4, 5, and 1, well, if we know where 1 is, we can find 2 real quickly. If that's C and we wanted to find D, well, we know, oh, it's right there, a whole step above C. If we wanted to find B, it's up here. Oh, that's just a half step below C. If we wanted to find A, well, we know where G is, okay, because that's our 5 in the key on the C string. You can also do that with C. You should also do it with the name of the notes. C, F, G, C, F, G, C, F, G, C, C, G, C, G, F, G, C, so that you're learning. That is F. That is G. Because once you know where G is, you automatically know, well, A is just 2 frets above it. So if you lock in on those, all of a sudden you know where 3 is because it's just a half step below 4. You know where 2 is because it's just a whole step above 1. You know where 7 is because it's just a half step. You get the idea. So by zeroing in on those, you can really find a note real quickly. So that's one course. A lot of other courses that I'm going to be doing. The point that and the announcement that I was going to make to you guys tonight is I really appreciate you guys going all through the frustrations of dealing with this beta launch and the webs and helping me figure out what I need to do in terms of and how to get fluid with what I'm doing. And I know that at times it's frustrating. I think we're beginning to get to the point to where we're getting that a little more fine-tuned. But to show you that I appreciate you going through those frustrations, I got to thinking about it. How can I show y'all how much I appreciate you? And as soon as I after this Sunday on the 4th, when we're going to establish a winner, and then I'm going to take a break until I can get up to Colorado, because I'm going to be packing, traveling, unpacking, and that's about a week-long process. And then we'll start up and we'll have another contest. Okay, and at that point, I'm going to start developing more instructional materials. And there's all kinds of instructional courses about playing that I want to work on. One of the things I want to do is have a course on songwriting, which, Tom, I'd like you to kind of, and Pat, you do some songwriting as well. But of course, like songwriting on, pardon me? You do, don't you? She does some good songs. Have you ever heard any of her songs, Tom?
No, I don't guess I have.
She's got some really cute songs. And but to do a course on songwriting, and then also to do a course on voice technique, singing lessons, vocal training, vocal lessons for a ukulele player, just to kind of, because that is something that I have learned that one can really improve on with just a little study. You can go a long way, but in a lot of other techniques. So here's the point. With this group, I will, any of the courses that I ever produce, and there will be a fee for, hopefully eventually on down the road, for these courses, just like a lot of other courses that you see online. For this beta group, I will never charge you guys anything for any of those courses. Now, in return, what I may do is I may run them by you here first. Hey guys, what do you think about this course? So that you'll be my beta group for those courses as well. And that may not seem like a big deal right now, but I'm hoping that on down the road, that will be a pretty big deal, and you guys will realize how much I appreciate it. So, and one of the first things I want y'all to do is help me decide, well, what courses are people going to be interested in? And we kind of touched on that on one of the surveys that I asked you in the course. So, and we'll continue working on that. So, bottom line, that's what I want to say. I didn't get a lot of time to prepare my delivery on how to do it, which I was going to do, but of course I ran into a technical problem trying to get ready for this meeting and such, and we've had some other issues. I don't know if I told y'all, our air conditioner went out. We've been without an air conditioner since Friday night at about 10 o'clock. Now, what could possibly be the worst time for your air conditioner to go out?
Holiday.
Friday on a national weekend, you know? So, yeah, we couldn't get anybody out here until today. So, I've got a message here. And so we've been dealing with that. And long story short, we haven't been getting a lot of sleep around here at night, because it's just been, even though it's been pretty cool. It's been pretty cool. So, all right. Y'all have any questions that you'd like to ask me about what we're doing with the site, where we're going, questions that we're dealing with now?
No,
Not
it's
yet.
been pretty good.
Not right now, probably will at some point.
Yeah. Okay. Now, and you may be able to see, some of you, that, and this site might not be for everybody. It's going to be for people that are really into the ukulele. If you're someone that just kind of, every once in a while they get around to sitting down with it, or not just ukulele now, like Jim. He hasn't been playing a lot of ukulele, but he's into music, but just the casual folks, that this site and all might not be of much interest to them. But I'm hoping that we can really get it put together so that folks that really are interested in it will enjoy what we're going to do here. So I just wanted to let you know I appreciate you. I am going to be working on some things that I think you're really going to like, and that there will be a fee, but not for you guys ever, on any courses that I ever develop. These 10 or 11 people, and I'm going to be closing tomorrow, the closing registration, and no one will be able to register until probably through the end of June. And after, I'm going to a festival in Durango starting July the 7th. And so I'll be probably kind of coordinating that into the next launch, to where we're kind of inviting other people to see if we can attract anyone else to join. And then hopefully we will have gone through some growing pains at that time and things will go smoothly. So, okay, well, that's about it then, guys. And I really appreciate you showing up and participating. Check back, get those. You might want to, I'm going to be dealing on the contest. I may have to be revising the strategy on that, in the sense that, see, here's the deal. They told me last time I talked to them, okay, I said, I want the points to accumulate. And they said, okay, well, you just do a new contest every day and they'll accumulate. And then I've been looking at that, and then Pat, I'm kind of thinking, is this actually doing that? And then I got to thinking, did I misinterpret that? Did he mean, because see, now actually I've started 4 different contests. Did he mean to go in and every day just revise the same contest? In other words, just go in, say edit, okay, contest for May the 30th. Instead of starting a new contest for May the 31st, I got to thinking about this. Did he mean to go in and take this contest for May the 31st that I've set a June the 4th deadline, delete today's action items, just go in and edit this, delete today's action items, start new action items for tomorrow. So,
but you know, today, the only time that when it goofed up today and gave me different numbers, I think yesterday it was because it was 2 different computers. One computer kept accumulating, but the other one didn't. But now today, both computers are the same. Neither one of them, they accumulated up through yesterday, but when I did today's, it started over and told me I had no points. But here's the difference. On the other ones, when you had to go to a video or whatever, you clicked the link and it took you to a separate video place. The one today, I don't know if it was just me, but when I clicked the link, the video popped up right there. So it was like there was something different about today's.
It was. Yeah, I clicked a different button.
There you go.
I clicked a different button. Okay.
Those buttons.
And see, and that's what I'm saying. I ought to show you. Now I could, but we won't fool with it. I clicked a different button. Okay.
I can imagine.
And so I'm learning, because there's about 100 buttons that I could click. Okay.
99 too many.
Yeah. And so, long story short, I've got to get back on the support meeting with them and get that clarified. But here's the ramifications of that, and I'll have to figure out something. We may end up having a separate drawing for these previous days up to this point, and have prizes for each one of those days. And then for the remainder of the days, if I've been doing it wrong, have a cumulative thing for the ukulele. And I'll do some straps. I still have some straps and some stands and some tuners and some prizes that we'll do for those other days that were just one day. And so, and part of my question, Pat, and what's made me question that is I've seen, is this really accumulating these points every day? And I'm thinking, I'm not so sure it is. And so that's what I've got to get back. And I got to thinking about it and the structure of it. And I'm sort of guessing now that what I have to do is each day, instead of starting a new contest, use the same contest, click edit, delete, and you'll understand this, Pat, delete the action items that were there, start new action items, post that, and they would be ready for the next day. And therefore, you're inside the same contest. Points should accumulate, I think. Now, what that's going to mean, though, is and this might be a good deal, if somebody doesn't log on one particular day and do the action items for that point, for that day, too bad. They don't get they don't get the action, they don't get the points for the action items for that day. And really, that might be some incentive to get everyone to just log on once a day, those that are interested in the contest. And because I've tried to do it where it wouldn't take too much time. It shouldn't take more than 10, 15 minutes, hopefully. How long did it take you today, Pat, to do these items?
No longer than that.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes at most is about what I'm trying to make it. I don't want to make it that. So listen, I've got to go. We're about to run out of time, and but I appreciate y'all being here.
You're welcome.
Okay, and we will stay. And I try to keep the emails to a minimum, but and make them short now. So I hope that's not an intrusion. So anyway, got any questions? Just send me a message. Okay. All right. Adios, gang. Bye-bye.
There's my baby. See him sleeping?
Oh, yeah. I see him. He's cute. All right. Bye-bye.